Okay, this table is a custom design we did for this project. It's a unique piece. It is not only a dining table, it's a multi-purpose table. You can work, eat, watch TV from it. That was the idea originally. So the thing is you need to be able to kind of clear it off very quickly to switch between working, eating, for example. So you have a slot within the thickness of the table to store some things, computer, books. And the other thing is you have this big roller shutter. Behind it, you can store your PC, different things. Also, you have access to a power socket, so you can work with the power source. And the lighting also kind of follows this flexibility. You can either choose to have the light on the table with the pendant lights, or just switch on the beam, which is on top, and just kind of diffuse the light all inside the room. In order to make it does not look too heavy, we kind of create this kind of a slanted foot, just 1 foot in metal below to kind of keep it very aerial, kind of give a floating effect. Okay, this table is a custom design we did in-house for this project. It's not only a dining table, it's a multi-purpose table that can be used for eating, working, watching TV. So it's very central in the room. The concept is that it's a table that can change the usage very quickly. So to do that, we have 2 slots on the side of the table where you can store things very quickly. And on the other hand, you have a big roller shutter where you can have PC or power sockets accessed very easily. Also, the lighting also kind of adapts to the usage of the table. So you can either choose to have the light on the bit lamp, on the pendant lights, right on the table, or you can switch on the beam, which will provide a diffuse lighting on the room. Originally here, you had a corridor connecting all the rooms. The idea we had is to kind of create a middle room that would use more or less the same space as the corridor, but be much more usable. You can use this room as a storage room, as a library room. The only thing is, since in the middle of the flat, there is no window. That's why we have these 2 glass partitions that kind of let the light go in. Originally here, you had a corridor connecting all the rooms. The idea we had is to create this middle room that uses more or less the same space as the corridor, but it is much more usable. You can have storage, use it as a library room. The thing is, since it's in the middle of the flat, there is no window. That's why we created these 2 gray glass partitions that will let the light go inside the room. The overall mood of the flat is very raw and modern. We wanted the renovation to be able to last in time, to be durable in the style as well as in the quality. That's why we used a lot of simple and very honest materials such as wood, metal, so that they can age nicely. On top of that, to spice up the space, we have a few splashes of color that come in a flat, but overall we want it to be very mute, very matte in the feel, so that really over time it will stay the same. The overall mood of the flat is very raw and modern. We wanted the renovation to be able to last in time, to be durable in the style as well as in the quality. That's why we used a lot of material that can age nicely, like materials such as wood, stainless steel. So the idea is that you move in now, but in 5 years the stainless steel looks nice and interesting. Also, in order to make it a bit more fun, we have a few splashes of color to spice up the place. The bedroom here is quite small, but we still want to have as much storage as possible. That's why we created this round cabinet that visually doesn't look so big because of the curve, but you have still the same capacity almost as the square cabinet. Also, it's much more easy to walk through the flat with a round corner rather than a sharp corner. In the same idea, we use a lot of sliding doors to don't use any space when the door is opening. So this is really trying to make the space feel as big as possible, even though it's not that big. The bedroom here is quite small, but we still want to have as much storage as possible. That's why we created this round cabinet here. The idea is that it looks smaller than it is because of the curve, but you can still have as much storage as in a square cabinet. Also, for passage, it's much better because we have these 2 doors, and to pass by is much more safe to have a round cabinet rather than a sharp square cabinet. In the same idea, we use a lot of sliding doors, so that you don't block the space when you open at any door. What we're trying to do in the design every time is to have something very uncomplicated, focused on what is essential for the product, based on the function. But also, we want to have a little element of surprise in it, something that will surprise the user and make it very enjoyable to use. What I like for my designs is them to be uncomplicated, to be very honest, and focusing on the essential, the function of the product, and at the same time have a little bit of unexpectedness, just a little surprise inside that will, make it fun to use. So very durable, simple, but also very enjoyable.